Hey guys, it's me the Marion, and today we have the SP-1 Combat Knife from Ontario Knife Company. The SP-1 Combat features a blade 7 inches long, 0.2 inches thick of 1095 chromium vanadium steel. A little bit thicker than a standard full-size K-bar, encapsulated by a fully encapsulated tang, Creighton handle, mind you, and this knife so far has proven its worth in a couple of my backpacking adventures, but let's go ahead and put it to a little bit more of a brutal test. To be honest, the grip on this is very, very well thought out. It has like a squarish type of grip, but it's rounded around the edges. Has a little pinky ferrule. Also, it has like a finger tang right here to prevent your hand from slipping. And you know exactly which way the blade is in orientation, because the blade edge matches up with the pinky ferrule. So, gives you a really, really solid grip. No spin throws are pretty fun. I mean, pinpoint accuracy, not too shabby there. Now, the one complaint that I have about this is that the pinky ferrule, the way that I throw, it kind of disrupts the blade. So sometimes it'll end up upside down, you know, or like a little bit canted. So it's a little bit of an issue, but not too much, especially when you get used to it, or when you get the, you know, whenever you get the hang of it, it starts sticking like a champ. Ontario Knife Company, built to last. Now the back end of the blade, real flat, real straight. So hey, maybe it can break a brick or two. Let's try it out. Safety first, guys, remember. Took a couple of hits, but it did crack the brick in half. Now there's some surface damage to the powder coating process used to blacken the blade, but it actually held up just fine, and it broke the brick in a couple of strokes. Now this is more of an extreme test on penetration. Will the OKC SP-1 hold up to the tip going right into a steel propane tank? Mind that it's small camping propane tank, but safety first, and let's try it out. First slash, cut right in. First stab. Went a little bit off angle. Let's go ahead and try that again. Wow, not bad. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the tip here. Actually, it's still sharp enough to entry into another type of object. It's held up very well, the tip, and it's still pretty sharp at the very tip of the blade. Alright guys, well, in an urban environment it did pretty well. Let's go ahead and head out to the backyard just to see how well it does in a wooden environment. Here we are in the backyard, and we will start battening with the SP-1 against this old piece of pressure-treated lumber. It looks like a 4x4 that's been rounded off, so let's go ahead and see how it does. Remember, position, safety first, as always, and start your battening. Batting just fine. Alright, well, let's go ahead and try something a little bit bigger. Found this old Semi-dried log. I'd say it's about at least maybe 6 years old. Let's go ahead and get to work. Well, I broke one of my pieces to batten with, but I found another piece, so let's go ahead and keep going. Alrighty. That pig piece of cedar was no match for the SP-1 Combat. Well, actually it kind of was. Broke one of my battening sticks. One of my complaints for battening would be to, right here, see how it's sharp, right on the top of the clip point, to file that down so that way it's not as sharp so it won't dig into your battening stick too much. Alright guys, well, let's go ahead and head off to the urban jungle and put it through a couple more tests and see how it does. Here's a throw from about 20 feet. Not bad, feels a little bit off balance, but it's working pretty well. Now I've gotten a little bit more used to throwing it. Let's see what I can do. Hey, there we go. A little bit more accurate. I kind of had to throw it more of like a sideways grip to get that one to fly a little bit straighter. Here we have the edge retention test. OKC steel seems to be pretty good. 1095, so let's go ahead and see how well it holds an edge. Safety first. That was a pretty hard strike. Let's see if it cuts the orange with ease. Tore a slight amount right at the end, but as you can see, it is a very extremely clean cut. Alright, a little bit of damage occurred. Right here I had a small chip from the knife blade, and also right here I had a very micronic chip. Not too much to worry about. I mean, in a survival situation, you're not going to be smashing on cinder or concrete blocks with the bladed area of your knife. We have the last test, hammering it into a tree and holding my weight. For a combat knife, I do think that this is a very good test. I do not recommend doing this. It will probably ruin your knife blade, but that's why I test it, so you don't have to. It's about good there. A little bit more for insurance. Alrighty. And we can toss this. And there you have it, right there, sideways on the blade, and it is not breaking. Alright, well, it's stuck in there pretty hard. Alright, got out of the tree stump. Now I have one issue right here. If you can look close, I can see it, or I can feel it, but the tang is moving around separate from this encapsulation that's around it. Is that a big problem? For general use, probably not really. Even for a combat scenario, we're going to have to be, I guess, penetrating something that wouldn't otherwise need penetrating, then it would be a little bit of an issue. But so far, it's held up perfectly fine, and I mean, it's a very minimal, very, very minimal. I can barely feel it by moving the blade and my hand at the same time. More durable than a K-bar? To tell you the truth, a full-size K-bar, I do think so. Now, this is mainly because the blade is thicker than a K-bar. A K-bar has a 0.16 inch thickness of blade, and the SP-1 Combat has the 0.2 inches of thickness of blade. And also the tang from X-ray photos seems to be thicker on this model. Alright guys, well, remember to like my videos, Remember to subscribe. I think the subscribe button is on this side, and the like button is on this side now. And as always, I test these, and I test everything else, so you don't have to. Alright guys, well, that's the mare. Thanks for watching.